This is not how I want to start the video. Let me think how I want to start. I don't know. Let's just jump into it. I had a first team event in Sweden. Now I'm gonna go over what a team event is, what the rules are, what specifically was special on this game that we did a few days ago. And the reason I want to make this video because I was writing down an information post to put on the socials, and then I was like, well, I'm gonna put way too much words in this text and nobody's gonna read that. So I will keep it to the basics on the Facebook post, and then I will just make a video where I go a little bit deeper and you can just sit down and watch the breakdown of what happened during the day. So this is what this video is all about. I'm gonna go over what happened during the day, why I'm doing those events, and what's special about them. And for me, it was a very nervous-y day. Nervous-y? Is that a word? I don't know. I was very nervous to do this game because there was a lot of new things for the Swedish Airsofters. Like there was me as an organizer. I'm quite new here in Sweden. There's a new field that I'm organizing on. Some people know the field, but other people that have been playing with me, they didn't play on that field before. Then there is a new type of game mode, the team events, and then there is the Airsoft World website that people don't get really familiar with yet. It's a new registration system for event organizers to put their events on, and people can easily register their ticket on that event site. But people are not familiar with it, so it's difficult to find it. And it was also the 1st of December and it was a little bit colder. Now the people that were coming to this game, I knew this is the first one and I need to impress the people and show them how the game can be. And if that isn't going right, that means that the next game will be the new test game to see if people like that. Now luckily everything went okay for the players. In my head things are always going wrong, but for the players it was a really nice day. And yes, I have been doing this game type for a while in Belgium. Like I came up with the idea 10, 12 years ago or even longer, I can't even remember, and we started playing that. So I was able to perfect every spawn rule, every mission that I make for this type of game to this specific game type. Now because we moved to Sweden, the fields are a lot bigger, so I need to change up the respawn system, but I'm gonna come to that a little bit later in the video. Now, back to the game on the 1st of December. There were 13 people that were registered for the game on Airsoft World, and 9 people came to the game. A few people called in that they were sick, and one guy just didn't say anything. Now, with those 9 people, we had one team of people that wanted to play together, about 8 people, or 9 even, and then 2 people that were in a different team. So yes, we needed to split up the teams a little bit. So I basically had 3 teams, 1, 2, 3. The first team had 2 people, the second team had 3 people, and the third team had 4 people. Now, yes, this is a very unbalanced game for the first and the third team. The second one is somewhere in between. And I could easily taken the one person from the third team, put him in the first team. But those people want to play together. And also for me, it was an interesting thing to see if it would work if I have unbalanced team. Now, usually a team on the team event is between 5 up till 10 people. So this was also a test for me to see, does this work with this amount of players in a team? And apparently it did. Some mechanics didn't really work that well, but it worked. So it is possible to play this with a lower amount of numbers. And I think I already said I usually have 6 teams in a team event, and today, because of the low number, we only had 3. Now the advantage having a odd number of teams is that if you have an attack defense game, you can have those people attacking and this one defending. Or the next round, you can have those people attacking and this one defending. Now, I didn't do that because then the team of 2 players had a big disadvantage. So I tried to attack defense mission once with the bigger team as a defense and the 2 smaller teams as an attacking force. But I will go over the missions in a little bit, don't worry about that. Now, because there are usually 6 teams roaming the field, like if you have your field, there's a team. There's teams everywhere, but that also means that you always are roaming around each other. So that means that you always need to check your back, you're always on edge, and that is for like a mental thing. You always need to check your corners, you always need to check your rear, and it's one of the things that I want to show people, that you as a team need to work together. And I didn't explain why I wanted to do these games. So let's go into that a little bit now. Before we go into anything else. Now, the team games, I created them for different reasons, because I wanted to have a feeling that I play as a team and I roam around the field with my team, with my buddies around me, and everything is about the team. Yes, we do missions, but we work together as a team. We keep playing together, and the rules are made to keep the team together. Now, the team size is about a squad size depending on the event that you go to, and it is a perfect training and exercise to see if you're ready for a game like that, like Burget, Bellum, Battle Group, or any other big game that you want to go to, where you are used to play in a squad led by a platoon commander. And there's nothing really out there for people to try this out, because usually you go out to play with your own little team And then if you don't have a team, you are kind of stuck with just going to a game and hope that somebody picks you up. Now in this game mode, it doesn't matter if you play with your like Airsoft team, you are just put in the team with other people. So you have to play together, and you start realizing that this is actually a fun thing to do, to play as a team. So this is why this event was so much different than another event that you usually go to like on a Sunday. I also don't want to make it too long. Like this game was from 10 till 3 in the afternoon, so that's about 5 hours that we played without a lot of breaks, because the teams get their missions in the field. Well, that was the idea, and this is what we were going to do in the future, but because it was the first one, I wanted to have the feedback from the players on how we can easily get the information to the players. So in those 5 hours, people are constantly working. And because people sometimes they cannot take a whole weekend off to go to a 24-hour or 48-hour game, I want to create something small that gives you a little bit of the same experience. So in those 5 hours, you get drained mentally because you always have to keep your eyes open to a lot of enemies that are roaming around the field, because like I said, there is one team and 5 other teams are maybe hunting you depending on the mission. And I'm going way off track because I didn't really make a script for this. I was, like I said, I was typing it down, and I just wanted to make a video to explain a little bit what happened during the day. I will try to structurize it a little bit, but we'll see how it goes, and I will put some timestamps in the video. Now, before we go into the rules and the missions, there was a question that I got during the game, like, why don't you play yourself? You can easily prepare everything and then just play yourself. I was like, yes, I could, but then I'm doing two things at the same time, and I'm not focusing on the game, like playing, and I'm not focusing 100% on organizing. And I chose to organize games, those specific games, and I play on other games. You're not overviewing on how the missions are going, how people are enjoying the type of missions that you do. You might have to adjust the missions that you made or you already prepared to counter the things that are happening on the day. For example, if people are really liking the sneaky missions, then you might drop in another sneaky mission instead of a action mission. And if you prepare everything and then you have to think like, oh, I want to see how those people are doing, it is not possible to do this 100%. And I want to create a very good day for all the players that are present. And it's my job that day to give you that day. So no, I don't want to screw that up by just playing myself. For me to have a little bit of fun, I can do that on other days. And now let's get into the rule book, so you understand a little bit where this comes from. So the rule book, I will put the link in the description of the video so you can just go over it and read it yourself. It's going to be updated because I got a few pointers that would really made sense, and I'm going to update those in the rule book in the coming weeks. So if you come to the game, always go over the rule book. There might be some changes. So the first page, I just explained what everything is. Then the team. Like I said, 6 teams are roaming, and you have different roles. There is the NCO, the RTO, the medic, the support gunner, DMR, rifleman, and the recon unit. Now, because of the different roles, every person in your unit has a specific thing that he needs to focus on. Like the team leader, he's the one getting the missions, he's the one getting the information, and he needs to pass that information to his team. Now, he's also responsible for the respawn itself, more about that later, and he's taking all the responsibility of that team. RTO, that's the person that communicates. It can be the same person. If the team leader wants to communicate, it's a perfect test for his radio setup. It's a perfect test to see if he's capable of leading a team and doing the radio while I'm radioing in. Then there is a medic with a specific medic rule that we're going to go over in a little bit. Support gunner, it's the guy with a big gun with a lot of BBs, because we play a single shot game and he's the only one that can shoot full auto. Then there is the DMR, same thing. There can only be one DMR in your team, and then all the other people are riflemen. There is also a recon unit that can be added, but that is only if the team is bigger than 5 or 6 people. I need to figure that out a little bit, and that is some specific respawn rules for the recon unit. Now, those are the different classes that you can pick, and it's up to the squad leader to make his team. And it can be from his own Airsoft team, or it can be random people joining together to create that little team for that day. Now, and this is the interesting part. This is the hit and medic rules, because there are a few different stages, or you can be hit, you can be stabilized, you can be healed, or you have to go back to respawn. Those are the different steps in the process. Now, the first one, you get hit, you shout hit or träff, whatever they do in Sweden or different countries, and you make it noticeable that you are hit. You take your dead rack and you stay in place without moving. And we have to cut the video because I have to make a call in a few minutes, so we'll see how that goes if I can cut the video. And we're back. I had to do some stuff. Oh, hold on. All right, I am back. I had a call when I was making the video, and that led into so many other things that I needed to do. So I had to postpone recording the video a few hours, but now I'm back to explain you about the medic system, the respawn system and stuff like that. And I will go over the missions that we did during that day. So these are the medic rules. And like I said, there is the hit, the stabilize, the heal, and the respawn. So if you get hit, you shout hit. That's basically it. Then you're out of the game. Your bleed out is 2 to 10 minutes with a minimum of 2 minutes and a maximum of 10 minutes. And the reason because of that is because of the missions, certain things you need to take from the people that you downed. And that is why there is a minimum of 2 minutes. A maximum is because if the people are fighting around you, they can still bring you back into the game. And there are a few different options to do that. The first one, that is the stabilize. Stabilize. And every other player in your group can come to you and put on a bandage on your arm. So that's a white bandage, it can be a tourniquet, as long as you have to work on it. In the rules it states that it needs to be a certain amount of meters and a certain amount of centimeters wide. So you actually need to work to put the bandage on. After you got the bandage, you are back in game, so you're not hit anymore and you can play again. Now, that is stabilizing. Besides that, there is also the medic. The medic, it's the same team, but it's just red because then it's a medic. The medic can come to you when you're in game, you don't need to be down, and he can hold you for 2 minutes. When he held you for 2 minutes, you can remove the bandage again, and you are back full strength, 100%, and you can take another hit again. Now, if you didn't got bandaged or mediced within those 2 minutes or 10 minutes bleed out time, you need to go back to your respawn, and that's the third option to get you back into the game. Now, the medic can medic you when you're down or when you're up. And when you are down, you don't need to apply a bandage, it just holds you for 2 minutes, and that is your bringing back to life. For some reason, my camera stopped working, so I will continue making the video on my phone. Hopefully that works because it is connected to very close to my mouse. So we'll see how it goes because I'm using my pad. This is not the easiest video to make apparently. I was going to be spontaneous, but no, things are going wrong all the time. Yeah, let's phone dropping and stuff. Let's see how this is not. God damn it. So new angle, new phone, whatever. So where were we? Oh, the medic, right? The medic. So let's summarize it a little bit. So your friends can move up to you if you're hit and they can put on your bandage and that stabilizes you. With that, you're back 100% into the game. And then the medic can come in and remove that bandage if he's holding you for 2 minutes. That's where we were right now. Then the other thing that the medic can do is if you're down, the medic can come and heal you up. And then I'm losing my sound now, for fuck's sake. So the other thing that the medic can do, if you are down, he can move up to you, hold you for 2 minutes, and that means that you are back into the game. And this is also a tactical decision that your squad leader can make. If a lot of your people in the squad already have a bandage, you can do a tactical retreat to heal everybody up. It's gonna take a few minutes to heal everybody up, and then you can go back into the mission, full strength. All right, so that's the second thing, that's the medic. And then the third thing, 3, that is the respawn. And that is a place somewhere on the map that the team leader decides where you put your respawn flag. But I will go a little bit more in detail on a specific video about the respawn, but now I just want to quickly go over it so you have a broad idea what's going on. So the team leader can place the flag anywhere on the map, he can move it, whatever. And then if you didn't make it or your medic didn't make it, you didn't got stabilized, your bleed out ran out, you need to go back to the respawn. Now everybody that is on the respawn, you can only respawn with a full team. That means that all your people, all the people in your team that are present at that game, they need to be at the respawn, dead or alive, to bring you back into the game. And that is basically all the options that you have. Yes, there is a main respawn, there is a squad respawn, so there's a few different tweaks in there. You can read the rules and you can learn more about that. But otherwise, this video will be super long. The best experience of this mechanic is if you use it and you played it in a game. And my microphone is still, no, it's fine, okay. So if you have any questions about that medic system, just read the rules, and if you have any more questions, just put them in the comments and I will try to reply as fast as possible. All right, next up is the respawn. I don't need to talk about that. Like the Recon unit, they have a little bit of different respawn rules. They don't need to go back to with the full team to respawn, so they can keep their Recon position that they have for that moment, and the other team can respawn. Now, if they get hit, they still have to respawn with the whole team. It's a little bit of a, they cannot rush in, they need to be sneaky and try not to get caught. That's the main reason of those respawn rules. All right, so this was the event preparation on my side. I had the timings, I had the missions prepared, I did the setup, and then there is the domination where they needed to press a button in a box, and every mission I gave this as a mission information, so the team leaders had information about the mission. Now, everybody was present because we only had 9 people, and it's easy to just explain this to 9 people. The reason why I do this with squad leaders is if there is a bigger group of, for example, 60, 70 people, it's difficult because not everybody's listening. And with this, I only have to talk to the squad leaders, and the squad leaders will talk to their team. They need to brief their own team. And it's a super simple mission. It's like, oh, go to domination point 1 on the map and press the button. That's basically it. The respawn rules don't change. Everything stays the same except the mission changes. Then there is resources. It's getting something from a point. There is an attack and defense where 2 teams are working together, and then 1 team is the defensive side. Again, you can read the rules. We changed it a little bit from 100 BBs to 50 BBs to hit the target because we were using RS Alpha. I'm gonna briefly go over that in a little bit. There's the intel where 7 different spots need to be visited before they can move up to the main box to cut the wire. There's cards where it's a little bit more aggressive, where they need to find the other players and take their playing cards to have as many player cards as possible. And then there is the hunt where they need to hunt the team leader of the team, and then they get UAVs to pop themselves so they can actually see on RS Alpha where the enemy is. And then at the end there is the score of all the missions. Now I didn't do all the missions because I don't know, I calculated the timings wrong because it's very difficult if you have a live thing going, and sometimes the timings go a little bit over or are a little bit less. So I have more missions for the next game. Now I quickly want to, like I said, touch over on the RS Alpha part. Let's go to the website of RS Alpha. This is my account, and everybody that went to the game and they logged into RS Alpha for the game, they will go to gameplay, past games, click on the game, and then you will be able to see all the information from the team. You can see the map. Now, sadly, you don't see the icons, and I don't know why you don't see the icons. But this is the map, so the zone that we played on, and if you go over it, step by step, you can start seeing the people popping up. Like I'm going to do it 8 times. This is the speed like every 4 minutes. And then you can see how the teams are moving. Let's go a little bit slower, like 4 times. This is 4 times, yes. And then you can see how the teams are sticking together. So there are 3 teams, red, yellow, and blue. And they're moving to certain locations. Sometimes they needed to attack something, sometimes they don't need to attack something, and sometimes they just hear shooting and they move into that direction because they need the player cards, for example. And as an organizer for myself, this is super helpful to see where the players are going. For example, on the hunting mission where they needed to find the cards, if one team was all the way on the side of the map, I just put an icon on the map, enemy spotted. And that meant that all the other teams in the area, they could see, oh, there is an enemy team hiding somewhere in the corner, so they could move in that area to make some contact happening. Now, this is depending on how the missions are going and how the teams want to play. If they want to play sneaky, if they want to play more aggressive, you communicate that with your people. And that is how you build your game step by step. And after the game, you can see, oh, this happened there, this happened for this reason. I meet up with those people. I was very close to getting in contact with that, but then I managed to sneak around and do something else. It's a really nice tool for an organizer, for players, for every team to see what actually happened. And that was a little part about RS Alpha. RS Alpha is a really nice tool that you can use in your games as a team, as an organizer, like I said. Now, the last thing that I want to say is this is a perfect opportunity for teams to practice their skill level and see what is going on in their team or with the people around them. Like if you want to join a bigger game, Burget Bell and Battle Group, and you have no idea if you will be able to handle that as a squad leader, come to one of those games and see if you can handle it. If you can handle it here, you probably will be able to handle it on Burget. It's basically the same thing, you just have a lot more teams around you doing the same thing, friendly or enemy. You're not allowed to shoot as many people as you do on this game. But besides that, it is a perfect tool to practice your communication, your leadership skill, and all the other things you need to lead a team. For me, it was a really good day. I enjoyed myself very much. Making this video was a little bit more difficult than I anticipated because of all the troubles, and I have no idea what's going on with my camera. I need to check that out. And hopefully the sound is okay. I had to do it in 2 times. It was, yeah. Let's not make a spontaneous video again. Well, we'll see how it turns out anyway. Now, I do plan to do more of those games in 2025. I have a few series of games that I want to do in 2025, and this is one of the games that I'm gonna for sure do a few times in 2025, probably on 3 or 4 different fields. So if you want to follow the games that I'm doing, you can go to my website, verageairsoft.com, or you can just go to Airsoft World, where I put all my games up and where you can find all the information about the games. The Verage Airsoft website just links to Airsoft World. For me, it's easy because all the registration is done on Airsoft World. The last thing that I want to do is I want to thank everybody for joining the game. I want to thank everybody for participating in the test game and giving me a lot of feedback that I can work with, because I'm gonna change some things in the rulebook that people gave me as a suggestion to make the games even better next time. So yeah, that was a very chaotic video about the game that we did. Hopefully it was interesting for you as a viewer, as a player, to learn some more about the game that I'm doing and I will be doing in the future. I don't know how to end this video. I have no idea how to end this video, but thank you very much, and I'll see you next week for a new video. Bye.